Do you know that dopamine is behind most of your health problems? Do you know that overweight or obese, irritability, cravings, sleep problems, restlessness, and depression-like symptoms are caused by dopamine? Dopamine is called the pleasure hormone, but it can literally ruin your life as well. In this video, we are going to show you how dopamine can affect your mood, thoughts, and behavior in a positive or negative way, then how you can control dopamine and its power, so you can live a healthier life. So, watch this video till the end to know everything about the power of dopamine. 1. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, one of those chemicals that help different parts of our brains communicate with each other. It's released in response to stressful or positive stimuli in order to aid us in what's called incentive salience. If you're stressed out and craving chocolate, dopamine tells your brain that it's worth expending energy to get more chocolate. Conversely, if you're enjoying chocolate or sex, dopamine makes you want more. In short, dopamine is part of what helps us decide what we'll focus on. For example, if you have a packet of chocolate and an apple, which one will you choose? Dopamine will cause you to make a choice depending on your past history with chocolate or apple. Obviously, if you have been more chocolate inclined in the past, dopamine will cause you to focus and crave chocolate. When these cravings manifest themselves into addictions or poor lifestyle choices, they can impact both our health and happiness. Healthy living starts with understanding how everything from hormones to neurotransmitters works together, and understanding dopamine may be key. 2. Effects of excess dopamine. Hey! Before we continue, a like for this content will be helpful. Thank you. There is evidence that dopamine can lead to feelings of euphoria or happiness. The brain often releases dopamine in response to pleasurable experiences, eating foods we enjoy, listening to music we love, which may play a role in our experience of joy or happiness. Many drugs, for example, cocaine, work by flooding the brain with dopamine. When levels are artificially raised by these drugs, users can feel intensely happy as a result, but only for as long as their brains stay flooded with excess dopamine. Over time, elevated levels of dopamine also cause users' brains to adapt by reducing natural production. When the drug wears off, dopamine levels drop below normal, and then gradually rise back up to previous levels over a period of days or weeks. During this withdrawal period, people experience mood swings, irritability, cravings, sleep problems, restlessness, and depression-like symptoms. In addition to disrupting other hormones such as serotonin and cortisol, stress hormone, chronic use of high doses of cocaine may also increase appetite so much that users become overweight. Withdrawal from other addictive substances can also produce some of these symptoms. For example, research has shown that nicotine withdrawal causes low moods and anxiety. 3. The relationship between dopamine and addiction. Because dopamine is so closely tied to both love and addiction, many experts hypothesize that abused drugs cause a surge in dopamine in order to create a feeling of euphoria or pleasure. When individuals come down from that high, they are often left with low dopamine levels. This is when they start seeking more drugs or alcohol. As their intake increases over time, chronic substance abusers can develop such a high tolerance for drugs or alcohol that massive amounts of intake are required just to feel normal. In other words, addicts have depleted their body's supply of natural dopamine as well as overtaxed their ability to produce enough on their own. So unless they're receiving some form of treatment, the cycle will continue. 4. Deficiency in dopamine. Parkinson's disease is a disorder of dopamine deficiency in an area of the brain called the substantia nigra. In Parkinson's disease, there is degeneration and death of dopaminergic neurons in the substantia nigra. This leads to a lack of dopamine, which may result in tremor, stiffness, or rigidity in one or more parts of the body, loss or impairment of motor skills like walking, problems with speech, etc. It can also cause cognitive difficulties, difficulty with thinking, depression, sleep disorders, weight gain or loss, constipation, and other gastrointestinal problems. When someone has too much dopamine, they will experience agitation, anxiety, delusions, a false belief that something is true, hallucinations, seeing things that are not really there, irritability, and aggressive behavior. A person who lacks dopamine will feel depressed, uninterested in their surroundings, and lethargic. Dopamine plays a major role in reward-motivated behaviors because it triggers our reward center when we do something good. These behaviors include eating food, drinking water, having sex, taking drugs, and gambling. They have been found to be closely linked with addiction because drugs often artificially increase the level of dopamine by imitating its effects on our brains. This makes us feel happy, so we want to repeat the behavior that gave us this feeling again and again. 5. Control dopamine. There is still hope. Healthy living, including getting enough sleep and eating healthy foods, can help protect against addiction. Taking on new challenges, joining a social group, and experiencing new things also help protect against addiction. Now, tell us in the comment below if you want us to make a video on dopamine detox based on scientific research. We will love to know. If you found this content helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching.